Now, I know I said I would never do this again, but I lied. Oh, I thought I was wearing this shirt backwards for a second. Hello there, welcome back to The Wild Review. I'm The Wild Reviewer, and today I have something very special for you. Actually, not just today, but for the remaining days of this month. That's right, I said it. I thought it would never happen again, but here we are. It's Christmas time again, which is a very weird sentence for me to say, because it's the middle of August right now. It's Christmas time again, kids. Guess what that means? Time for holiday review videos! Yay! I just realized what I'm doing. Alright, enough jokes. I hinted it at in the final episode of Rewild for this season. I'm doing something very special for the remaining days of December this month. I'm doing a sequel to my holiday mini-series, which I thought I would never do again. I strictly said I will never do it again, and then I ended up doing a Halloween mini-series. And then I said I would never do that again. And here we are! Ladies and gentlemen, I give you 12 wild Christmas review days. Why 12, you ask? Why not 25? Well, the answer is very simple. It's the middle of December. Also, I did not want to go through the pain once again doing this for 25 days. The project was very fun. I'll admit it was very fun to do, and it got me to watch a lot of films that I still watch to this day. I believe that was the first year where I watched National Lampoon. I could be wrong on that, but I think that was either the first or second year that I watched Christmas Vacation. I do know for a fact it was the first year I watched Arthur Christmas in full. I watched Miracle on 34th Street. It was the first time that I got to watch a few of these films. The same thing happened when I did the Halloween series. But even though it was fun, it was a lot of work because it's the matter of watching the thing, filming, and then editing. And then you have to make sure that it goes out on time. This year, it's a little different for three reasons. One of them being that a lot of the films that I am talking about, aside from one of them, all of them had been watched previously. In fact, what I'm talking about today and a few others that will follow, I saw earlier this year, even towards last Christmas. They're all still fresh in my mind. I have notes down, so we're completely fine. I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about. The second thing is, this is only 12 days. I figured, you know, let's cut it in half. Let's do what I originally wanted to do, which is do 12 days, but then I pushed myself to do 25 days so I can do all of December. In this case, I was doing Rewild, which I knew was going to go into December. So we're at the halfway point of December. Let's at least start it now, and also give me less things that I have to do around this time of year, less videos that I have to edit. And the third thing that may make this a little easier on me now is I'm getting a really big head start because I'm filming in the middle of August. Check it out, I got shorts on. If it was really December or November, I'd be wearing jeans because it always gets cold here. It was like 80 degrees today. Didn't help that it was humid. So I'm getting a head start of the filming now, so this way I just have to worry about the editing as we go forward. So I should be good. I shouldn't be stressing myself out as much as I did when I did the first two series. Alright, introductions out of the way. You know the deal, at least I hope you do. From now until Christmas Day, I will be talking about one single Christmas film. Actually, I lie. Today I will be talking about a single Christmas film. There's going to be one of these days where I talk about various films, and that's only because of time purposes. If I wanted to talk about them individually, I think it would definitely stretch the project a bit. I want to do 12 days. Also, not giving any spoilers away, but what I'll be talking about on that specific day, it's not like that they're lengthy things anyway. I won't be talking about 3 films like I did with The Grinch. Which leads me into the next thing. I have 2 rules that I'm definitely keeping when it comes to this project, even though it is a very short project at this point. So the films, they have to be 100% Christmas films, or at least classified as Christmas films. And if the film has a sequel, then I have to talk about it no matter what. And if the film was remade in any way, I also have to talk about that remake. Now, I've just set these rules up, but it's dawning on me now that I may not actually stick to them. because of the lineup of films that I have. So why did I list the rules? Whatever, it's gonna be great. You're in the holiday spirit. Look at this, Christmas. Christmas is behind me. I gotta put my hat on. I gotta get in the spirit. Is this good blackmail yet? If you're one of my friends watching this, is this good blackmail? I'm gonna sweat even more in this hat. It's very hot. I have the air all the way up. I don't know if I want to wear this whole time. You know what? I'm gonna put it right there. That looks stupid. Without any more introductions, let's get into the film that is going to kick off 12 Wild Christmas Review Days. The film that is essentially the inspiration why I decided to do this, because it should be mentioned in the rewild that I'm doing on Home Alone. I did not see Home Alone 3, 4, 5, and now 6, so this gives me the opportunity to talk about them. So let's talk about them. This is Home Alone 3. Released in 1997, this film, which has absolutely no relation to the first two Home Alones, focuses on a young 8-year-old boy named Alex. Alex, unfortunately, has the chicken pox and is forced to stay home alone, under the supervision of his mom and neighbor who doesn't like Alex. However, he is left home alone at various times because his parents are always working, and when his mom has to rush into the office to get some work done, Alex is truly left home alone. But fortunately, he has a cool new toy to keep him company. He has a radio-controlled car, which just so happens to have a top-secret microchip installed inside. It was put there by 4 high-tech industrial spies who need to get that microchip back, but they first need to figure out where the car went. So they do a little snooping around through the neighborhood, and once they discover who has that car, they now have to do everything they can to get that chip back from the kid. Alex, being 8 years old and afraid, now is in charge of the house and has to do everything he can to keep himself safe and stop these high-tech spies from whatever it is that they're doing. So it's worth noting that out of every film we're going to talk about, this has nothing to do with Christmas. In fact, this is the only Home Alone film that doesn't take place around Christmas time, and that's it. It doesn't take place around Christmas time. I would also say it's the only film to not feature the McAllisters in any way, but that's a lie. So, it was cute, just not a great Home Alone film. So this is what I believe. I believe that this was originally intended to be a spy film, but like a family film that focused on spies. And the idea was probably that this microchip was inside this toy car and now it belongs to a kid, and now the spies need to get it back from the kid or else they're going to be in a lot of trouble. And I'm pretty sure somewhere down the line, once somebody suggested that there should be some slapstick and the kid defends himself, I'm very positive that may have just been the trigger for somebody to go, hey, that's very similar to Home Alone. We should make it a Home Alone film. I'm not confirming if that's actually what happened, but I would believe it if that's how the discussion of this film and the behind-the-scenes process of writing it happened. I'm finding it very hard to believe that this generally started out as an idea for Home Alone 3. The kid Alex is fine. He does a pretty good job. He's not a horrible actor. In fact, that kid was the face of the 90s for a while. I did a little research on him, and he was in a few films, but he's definitely been in a few TV commercials. I believe he was in a McDonald's commercial, and I know for a fact he was in a Lunchables commercial. I remember finding the Lunchable pizza commercial, and he was that kid. His real name is also Alex. That's a little fun fact for you. I don't think he acts anymore. I don't think this kid acts anymore. I don't think he likes acting. I think he's retired now. Good for him. He should retire. He should do whatever he's doing. I don't know what he's doing. Let's look to see what Alex is doing now. John Williams composed this film. Oh, that's really cool. It was in 1995 to 2007 he was an actor. Oh my god, he was in Max Keeble's Big Move? I never saw that film. I'm getting off track, I'm sorry. Just give me 1 second. Scarlett Johansson was in this film. I thought she was going to have a bigger role. What can you say about Home Alone 3? I mean, the ending was cheesy. The bird on the car was the most cheesiest thing I'd ever seen. It wasn't a good Home Alone film, but it worked really well as a spy film. Like, even though the spies were the antagonists in this film, I actually was more interested in their story than Alex's story, honestly, because he's just sitting home. He's sitting home telling his parents, no, they saw these people break into a house, and just nobody believes him. Actually, I take that back. I felt bad for Alex, because nobody believed this kid. He called the cops because he saw the spies going into other people's homes, and they got out of there. What frustrates me is that this poor kid is sick, number one. He's got chickenpox, so I don't know why nobody was like, oh, he has a fever, you know, he could be hallucinating this. And then once he says, no, I'm not hallucinating it, I saw it. It's like, why? How come nobody is watching this child? These are horrible parents. They left him multiple times. He technically was not home alone throughout this whole entire film. He was half home alone. He was home with people, and then they left. They left for the day and then came back. When you are home alone, that means you are home alone. The purpose of the first Home Alone was Kevin was left behind. He was home alone. Home Alone 2, he wasn't left home alone, but he was lost in New York. Home Alone 3 is not Home Alone 3. It's half Home Alone 3. The parents keep leaving him. I wouldn't do that, especially since he's sick. Like, just take off a day from work. I mean, it works out in the end. They realize that he was not lying. But, like, this poor kid already has to deal with chickenpox. He's not feeling well. And he's being yelled at by his parents, like, that's the second time you called the cops. This is a serious matter. And the cops aren't believing him. Like, you think the cops would even do something? Like, maybe patrol the area, or maybe stay in that area to see, maybe something actually is going on. Like, it's frustrating. With that said, the spies were pretty good. I did really like the spy bit in the film, and again, it felt more like a spy film than it did Home Alone. Now, some fun facts that I have about this film, this isn't a recurring thing that's always going to happen, I just want to share these fun facts, is I remember I read that they had asked the original burglars, the Wet Bandits, they asked them if they wanted to come back, or at least one of them, and they weren't interested in it. That was a good call. It would have been so weird if the Wet Bandits were in Home Alone 3. Like, it would have been a bit strange. Like, we gotta imagine how that would have gone. Like, they just randomly break into another kid's house. And, like, you know, what are the odds that the next house that they break in, the exact same stuff happens to them? That actually probably would have been really interesting to watch. Like, maybe seeing Marv and Harry's point of view in this. Like, maybe Home Alone 3 could have been about them, and that would have been interesting, actually. There should be a Home Alone film that focuses on the burglars. So overall, Home Alone 3 was a film, and I saw it, and that's it. That's the end of the sentence. It's the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the Home Alone films. I wouldn't even classify it as that. It's like the top of the downward spiral we're about to go into. Can't even say they get better from here. It's just, we're in for a treat. We're just putting it that way. So that's Home Alone 3. Again, it's not even a Christmas film, so we're already on a good start. We're talking about a horrible film that isn't even a Christmas film in a Christmas series. But that is one of 12 films that we have here now. Yes, I can't think of anything else to say, but I want to know if you have anything to say about this. Have you ever seen Home Alone 3? If so, what'd you think about it? Did you enjoy it? I know some people do generally enjoy this film, and if you did see it, what part do you like the most, if you like anything of this film? Do you like the spy bit, or do you like the Alex bits? I like the spy bits. The spy bits are the right answer. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below if you have any thoughts, and with that said, that brings us to the end of day 1 of the 12 Wild Christmas Review Days. That's number 1. Now starts the countdown until Christmas. We have 11 more films to go. We can do it. I did it 25 times, and I did it 31 times. I could do it 12 times. That adds up. That's like 50-something? I've talked about 50 films. Jesus Christ. He was born, so I think you know the drill here. Home Alone 3 is done, now we gotta talk about Home Alone 4. So join me tomorrow as I discuss Home Alone 4. I promise you it does not get better from here. Thanks again for watching The Wild Reviewer on The Wild Reviewer, and you just saw me review a thing.